The movie begins with an interview where we are introduced to Ed Anderson, a filmmaker from the well-known Anderson family. Ed owns a very rare silent horror film from 1920, made by his great-grandfather. According to him, this film is believed to be the first silent horror film ever produced in the Philippines. For many years, everyone believed the film had been lost during the war, but somehow the reels were finally discovered. The only problem is that some important scenes are missing. No one knows whether those scenes were never filmed, censored, or destroyed over time. During the interview, Ed explains that this film was never just a creative project. For his great-grandfather, it was deeply connected to Filipino folklore. But as the conversation continues, we realize the history of this film is much darker than Ed is willing to admit. While the film was being shot, Ed's great-grandfather was accused of treason by the lead actress of the movie. But the truth behind that accusation was never discovered. Even after all these years, no one really knows what happened. Ed quickly changes the topic and says that the restoration of this film has been going on for decades. His close friend and filmmaker, Ruel, is also helping him with the project. Together, they are searching for the missing footage, and once they find it, they plan to finally release the film to the public. After the interview ends, Ed returns home and goes to sleep. In the same house, we also see his son, Cyril. Suddenly, Cyril wakes up after hearing strange noises outside. Curious and frightened, he follows the sounds and runs out of the house. But the moment he reaches outside, he freezes in shock. Something terrifying is there. Some kind of ghostly entity is standing before him. We are not shown exactly what Cyril sees, but from his reaction, it is clear that he has witnessed something horrifying. What happened that night is never explained. Years pass, and in the present day, Cyril is now a grown man. But unlike his father, he is no longer interested in carrying on the family's filmmaking legacy. Instead, he works as a simple advertisement editor. A few days earlier, his father, Ed Anderson, passed away. Even after losing his father, Cyril is forced to continue working. He is editing a commercial, but his mind is disturbed, and to make things worse, his computer keeps crashing again and again. The deadline for the commercial is very close, so Cyril has no choice but to keep working late into the night. As time passes, his eyes become heavy with exhaustion. Suddenly, he notices a frightening figure standing behind the screen. Terrified, Cyril quickly rubs his eyes and tries to understand what he just saw. But then he realizes it is not a ghost. It is only his daughter, Rhea, standing behind him, and she accidentally scared him. Seeing his daughter makes Cyril happy, even though he is completely tired from work. Rhea then tells him that he should finish the commercial with the help of Jeff, the junior editor. She seems excited about the project, but then Cyril notices a mysterious box nearby. Rhea explains that Grandpa Ed left the box for him. Cyril finds it hard to believe because he feels his father never loved him enough to leave anything behind. But Rhea tells him that the box is definitely meant for him because his name is clearly written on it. Cyril opens the box and finds a film reel inside. Rhea immediately asks if this is the same film her grandfather was trying to restore. Cyril says yes, but he also says there is nothing he can do with it now. Rhea encourages him not to ignore such a huge opportunity. She tells him that history is literally in his hands. This is the first silent horror film from the Philippines, and if he releases it properly, he could make a lot of money from it. She even suggests that if he does not want to spend too much money, he can at least upload it to his YouTube channel. But Cyril says he does not even know whether his father completed the restoration or not. Rhea becomes frustrated after hearing this and leaves. After she goes, Cyril checks his inbox and discovers that his father had sent him several emails before his death. The final message reads, "I'm sorry. It's over now. Goodbye." In that message, Ed apologizes for his actions and tells Cyril that the reel now belongs to him. After reading this, Cyril becomes deeply disturbed. He begins searching online to learn more about his father's death. While searching, he finds pictures connected to his father's death, along with a mysterious recording. But there is no way to know whether this recording is connected to the same lost film or not. To understand more, Cyril watches an interview given by his father's friend, Ruel, after Ed's death. In the interview, Ruel says that Ed's final project was almost like a myth. It was a lost, silent horror film from the 1920s, and many people were not even sure whether it truly existed. But Ruel confirms that the film is real. He says they had found most of the reels, but even after Ed's death, the film still remained incomplete. After watching all this, Cyril picks up the reel again and starts thinking deeply. But suddenly, he hears terrifying sounds around him. It is the same kind of entity on which the old movie was based. This time, Cyril does not just hear its voice, he also sees its shadow. And in that moment, he realizes that his father's unfinished film may not be just a film at all. This terrifies Cyril for a moment, but when he looks closer, he realizes it is only Rhea and Jeff standing there. Trying to control his fear, Cyril tells Rhea to get the storeroom keys from the security guard because they are going to work on the old film reel. Hearing this, Rhea becomes excited. After entering the studio, Cyril explains that all the equipment connected to the silent film era has been stored there for years. Among the old items, they find an antique film editing machine and decide to use it for the restoration. As they begin setting things up, the lights suddenly flicker. But none of them pay much attention to it. While looking around, Rhea asks Cyril why Grandpa Ed started working on this film when Cyril was a child and then suddenly stopped. Cyril tells her that his mother died during that time. The moment he says this, the movie moves into a flashback through Cyril's memories. As a child, he had seen something horrifying. His mother's severed head was in the hands of the same terrifying entity. Cyril snaps back to the present, still shaken by the memory. He tells Rhea that he cannot explain what really happened back then, but maybe, after watching this film, she will finally understand what happened to his mother. The reel begins to play, and the title of the film is revealed as The Man and the Girl. This title is connected to the same entity from Filipino folklore, the one believed to appear inside the film. As they watch the movie, Rhea comments that the acting looks fake. Cyril explains that it is a silent film, so the audience has to understand the story through body language and facial expressions, not dialogue. But as the film continues, the face of the same horrifying entity suddenly appears on screen. Cyril freezes because the face is exactly the same as the one he saw during his childhood, on the night his mother died. At that moment, Cyril becomes convinced that his mother was killed by the same entity connected to this film. Disturbed by what he has seen, he takes a break and tells Rhea to take a screenshot of the film on her phone and send it to him so he can confirm what he saw. But Rhea questions him. She asks why they are still doing everything the old way when they could simply digitize the reel. Cyril refuses immediately, and this leaves Rhea upset. The next day, Cyril continues reviewing the remaining clips. Suddenly, he feels someone standing behind him. At first, he thinks it is Rhea, but when he turns around, he sees his father, Ed, standing there, even though Ed is already dead. Seeing his father makes Cyril fall into another painful memory. When he was young, he once tried to touch the same film reel, but his father screamed at him, called him useless, and even hit him. Now, in the present, it looks like his dead father is lunging toward him. But suddenly, Cyril realizes it was only his imagination, created by fear, guilt, and old trauma. Meanwhile, Rhea secretly tries to upload some clips from the reel to YouTube. But every time she tries, the upload fails. Just then, Cyril arrives and sees what she is doing. He becomes extremely disturbed, but Rhea quickly apologizes. She explains herself and tries to calm him down. After this, they continue working, and eventually, they finish editing the available portion of the reel. The compiled footage shows what looks like a normal family scene, with parents and their son. But suddenly, the family notices the presence of a frightening figure, and they immediately panic. They know it is Manon. The man tells his family that he will go, fight her, save everyone, and return. The next scene should have shown Manon and the man fighting, but instead, the footage suddenly goes blank. This reveals that the next part of the film is missing. Cyril is sure that his father had found that missing reel, so he begins searching for it inside the studio. While this is happening, Rhea starts adjusting the old machine. Suddenly, it breaks, even though she did not use any force. The moment Cyril sees the broken part, he loses control. He shouts at Rhea in anger. In that moment, he behaves exactly like his own father once behaved with him. Rhea has never seen this side of him before, and she is completely shocked. She quietly tells her father that she will go to the other room and bring the spare part. Then she leaves, hurt and silent. The other storage room is filled with old costumes and film props. While Rhea searches inside a cupboard, something suddenly falls on her. She screams in fear, thinking it is the creature from the film. But then she realizes it is only a costume. It is the same creature costume that was used in the old film. Still, Rhea is confused. How is this object still here after so many years? And how is it still in perfect condition? So many things were destroyed during the war, but somehow this costume survived. When Rhea asks Cyril about it, he tells her it is probably just a replica, only to calm her down. But the truth is, Cyril himself is confused. He has been visiting this studio since childhood, and this is the first time he has ever seen that costume. Still, they ignore it for now and return to setting up the reel. Just then, Jeff arrives and reminds them that the commercial is still unfinished. He warns Cyril that if they continue wasting time on the old film, the deadline will be missed. But Cyril tells him to go and get the deadline extended because they are not coming. Jeff gets angry, and Cyril immediately scolds him and throws him out. After Jeff leaves, Cyril tells Rhea that Jeff is doing this on purpose. According to him, Jeff knows how close they are to finding the truth, and he is trying to stop them from going any further. Cyril's obsession with the film becomes stronger. Even in the middle of the night, he wakes Rhea up and tells her to quickly prepare the preview because Uncle Ruel is coming to see everything. The next clips they find show a man and a woman lying near a child, while the parents desperately try to save him. The child is terrified, and the atmosphere becomes more disturbing. Suddenly, the creature's helper falls on the child. The child collapses to the ground in fear, and once again, the screen goes blank. Cyril and Rhea become frustrated because the ending is still missing. Meanwhile, Ruel is sitting outside, waiting for them. But from his body language, it is clear that he is terrified. When they finally call Ruel inside and tell him the editing is complete, he suddenly grabs the reel and starts breaking it. Cyril is shocked and yells at him to stop, but Ruel does not listen. Instead, he shouts back at Cyril and says that he warned Ed many times. He told him that this film was evil, cursed, and dangerous enough to kill them. Ruel says Cyril's mother died because of this film. Years later, when Ed started working on it again, he also died. And now, Cyril has made the same mistake by continuing the restoration. Cyril refuses to believe him. Then Ruel asks him if he has seen the Manananggal costume. When Cyril says yes, Ruel immediately demands to see it. They rush to the storage room to find the costume. But when they reach there, the costume is gone. They search everywhere in panic. Suddenly, Manananggal appears in front of Ruel. At the same time, Rhea is deeply confused by everything happening around her. She wants to know what is really inside this film that is causing all this terror. So, Rhea searches online and discovers several disturbing details. The lead actress, Stella, spent most of her life in a mental hospital after filming the movie. Rhea then finds a recording where Stella accuses Cyril's great-grandfather of ruining her reputation. Stella also claims that strange, unnatural things happened on the film set. But she does not call them ghosts. Instead, Stella says that her shame, anger, and pain took a supernatural form and became Manananggal. She curses the entire Anderson family, saying that no one with Anderson blood will survive. She swears that she will kill them all. Just then, Jeff arrives while Rhea is researching. He angrily tells everyone to stop working on their side project and focus on the commercial. He says he is taking the reels away and no one will touch them again until the commercial is finished. Rhea tries to stop him, but Jeff refuses to listen. He takes the reels and walks into the corridor. But at that moment, Manananggal appears in front of him. Before Jeff can even react, she appears behind him, ready to attack. The scene cuts away, but it is clear that Jeff has been killed. Meanwhile, Cyril searches for Ruel inside the storage room. Suddenly, Manananggal appears in front of him as well. Cyril runs for his life, but at the same time, he decides that he must save Rhea. When he reaches Rhea, he sees Manananggal standing right behind her. But in the next second, she disappears again. Cyril immediately asks Rhea where the reels are. Rhea tells him that Jeff took them. Hearing this, Cyril's anger rises again, and he starts shouting at her. Rhea apologizes once more, but Cyril loses control and tells her to go away. Hurt and shocked, Rhea leaves him alone. Now completely exhausted, Cyril breaks down. Rhea calls her mother and tells her that Cyril is behaving very strangely. Both Rhea and her mother know that Cyril was never like this. He was always a quiet and calm person, but now something about him has changed. Her mother tells Rhea to wait and says she will come there and see everything for herself. Meanwhile, Cyril is in the bathroom, drinking. Suddenly, he sees Manananggal again, but this time only the upper half of her body is visible. Strangely, Cyril is not afraid anymore. Instead, he follows her. Manananggal leads into the screening room, where he finds another reel with the word ending written on it. Manananggal silently tells him to play it. Cyril sets up the reel and turns it on. In the footage, he sees a young boy sitting in front of his mother's dead body. Manananggal had killed the woman, but the boy's father blames the child for her death. The father tells him that his mother died trying to save him, and that even he could not save her. As Cyril watches this, the truth becomes even more painful because the film is now showing the same trauma that destroyed his own childhood. This scene reminds Cyril of his childhood. He remembers the day his mother came to him, completely angry and ready to leave the family. At that moment, his father came near him and said, "Look, your mother is leaving you. Don't be afraid. Go to sleep. I will do something so that your mother will always be with us." Cyril does not want to think beyond that memory. He does not want to accept what it might mean. So he snaps out of his thoughts, and the scene returns to the present. Now, Manananggal is standing right above Cyril. The terrifying entity places a hand on his head and threatens him, saying, "Either complete this, or I will kill you." Cyril, terrified, immediately replies that he can finish it. Meanwhile, Rhea tries to escape from the building. But while leaving, she sees the dead bodies of Jeff and the security guard. She is already frozen with fear when someone suddenly places a hand on her shoulder. Rhea turns around and sees Manananggal standing behind her. She screams, and the screen immediately cuts to black. A short while later, Rhea's mother arrives at the same place. This building was once known as a post office, and it is the same place where the studio is located. She enters the building and starts searching for Rhea. But instead of finding her daughter, she finds Rhea's bag lying on the ground. Worried, she slowly walks toward the studio. Suddenly, Manananggal appears in front of her as well. We hear her scream, and once again, the screen goes black. In the next scene, Rhea is tied to a chair, which shows that Manananggal did not kill her. But in front of Rhea, on the table, lies her mother's severed head. Rhea screams in horror after seeing it. Cyril hears her scream and follows the sound. But when he sees his wife's dead body, he is not shocked at all. Instead, he calmly tells Rhea to stop crying and calm down. At this point, it becomes clear that Cyril is no longer himself. Manananggal has taken control of his body and his mind. Cyril forcibly plays the film in front of Rhea and tells her that this is a private premiere made only for her. Then he asks her how the ending should be completed. Should the story end with the creature or with the child? Rhea cries and says she does not know. Hearing this, Cyril becomes furious. He shouts at her and asks what the point was of spending so much money on her film school if she cannot even answer this. He says that because of her fees, he spent his life editing commercials. He gave up his dream of making films, and now she is telling him that she does not know anything. But his voice sounds low and unnatural, as if someone else is speaking through him. Rhea breaks down completely and starts crying. As she cries, Cyril tells her that now she will understand his pain. He repeats that she will feel the same pain he felt. On the screen, the creature moves toward Rhea. Rhea, terrified, tries to control herself. Suddenly, the lights go out. In the darkness, the creature comes closer to attack her. Just then, Rhea grabs a knife lying nearby and stabs the creature. She thinks she has killed it. But when the lights come back, she realizes the creature is only injured. Rhea slowly tries to touch the creature's face. But when she removes the face covering, she realizes it is not a real monster. It is a costume, and inside that costume is her own father, Cyril. Now Rhea understands the truth. A dark force had possessed her father and forced him to do all these horrible things. With great difficulty, Cyril regains control of himself. He tells Rhea to burn the film because that is the only way to escape the curse. He explains that Stella's anger and pain are tied to this film like a curse. Any member of the Anderson family who watches the film, restores it, or becomes connected to it will be destroyed. After hearing this, Rhea begins to cry and holds her father in her arms. Cyril is badly injured and is breathing his last. In that heartbreaking moment, Rhea has no choice but to stay strong. She knows that if she wants to end everything, she must do what her father told her. In the post-credits scene, we see Rhea burning all the reels. As the film burns, she remembers the good moments she spent with her father. At this point, Rhea believes the curse is finally over. She thinks Stella's debt has ended with the destruction of the film. But suddenly, her phone rings. When she checks it, she sees a YouTube notification. The footage from the film, which she tried to upload earlier but failed, has somehow been uploaded by itself. And now, thousands of people have already watched it. Rhea stands there in shock, confused, and terrified. If the curse is connected to anyone who watches the film, then what will happen to all those viewers? Will the curse now spread to them, or will it still remain with Rhea? The movie ends with this disturbing mystery, leaving us with one final question. The film may have burned, but the curse may have already escaped into the world.